Well, Cilantro, and how do you do, buckaroos, and how the heck are you? Anyways, it's just been a rough couple days, the type of year it is for my wife and I. Um, just didn't really do anything yesterday. Decided just to kind of stay home today since I had the day off. Thought about getting out, but I just couldn't think of a reason to get out. I wasn't feeling extremely sociable either. So, anyways, thought I'd do a video here, and I had an idea to do this lime coconut, key lime coconut simple syrup. So I was originally trying to do as close to a traditional daiquiri as possible. I don't have a great rum on hand, not like I do whiskeys, but I worked with what I had just to give you an idea what the cocktail might be like. There we go. And now I'm in business there. That up. So I used this rum we picked up at Trader Joe's back in August. Believe it or not, still got a little bit left in there. Trader Joe's Rum of the Gods. It's an 80 proof, well, I said like an 80 proof rum, product of Barbados. How about that? So I'm going to set that there, and I made this as close to a traditional daiquiri recipe as possible, but using my lime coconut simple syrup, if you will, but my garnish in there. A coconut strip. I don't have a lime, and so when I'm kind of doing some test batches of some things today. So when I do this for reals, I'll have a lime for a garnish. But today I'm just using what I have, which is a coconut strip. Boy, a simple syrup came out really good though. I guess I didn't realize how much different I was doing from a lot of people. So I was talking with Jersey Johnny and the Beer Samurai a couple weeks back, and they do theirs a little bit different. But I've got this electric kettle that heats up the water perfectly. Actually, my wife has, but anyways. So what I do is I get all my ingredients together. In this case, raw sugar, unsweetened coconut, flaked coconut, and a quarter cup of key lime juice. And then when the water's hot, I pour it in there, stir it till the sugar completely dissolves, but then I cover it and let all those ingredients steep for 30 minutes, and then really let that coconut, the coconut flavors develop in there. And the longer you let that coconut sit in there, the more that coconut's going to develop. And some like to do a pot of water and throw it all in there. And then, I mean, there really isn't a wrong way. It's how you choose to do it. I just like this particular method. I like the flavors that I'm able to get out of there. Growing up in the 70s, I was taught to believe that a daiquiri was this crazy frozen concoction, much like a margarita is served in most places in California. Truth is, a traditional daiquiri is served straight up, which means it's chilled with no residual ice in the glass. That's why I have it served this way. That's how a traditional daiquiri is served, straight up. The hazards of drinking outside. I've got bugs getting in my alcohol here. Should have covered them up with something. Oh, I should have done this inside, but I really wanted to, trying to make myself get out and do something, but I would have been getting out just for the sake of getting out, right? I didn't want to just spend money for the sake of spending money. That's my wife and I are trying to save for our anniversary trip. So but I made myself get some clothes on and get outside, at least in the backyard. Because I was starting to, the longer I sat there and watched TV, the more depressed I was starting to find myself. So trying to get out of that particular funk. I had some friends that talked about meeting, asked if I was going out to any particular place, but I don't know that I was really feeling at that moment in time. when I answered that question, I just wasn't feeling sociable. That's why my wife and I many times will go out of town during this time period because it's sometimes easier just to be around strangers, than it is friends at this particular moment in time. Because nobody knows quite what to say to you. It just becomes awkward on both sides of it. This is good. If I had a really nice rum, it would probably be better. But again, I would just kind of this is my experimental batch, if you will. So just kind of riffing here, just to see what works, and kind of see what I mean as I get to the next couple liquors here. I was just trying using the basic idea of a daiquiri, but using two other liquors to see what drink I could come up with. All right, time for number two. So I wanted to use another clear liquor, and I had a little bit of this. Look, I just a little bit left of the Ho Chi Town Genuine American Corn Whiskey Moonshine at 100 proof. So let me show that to you. Get that in the shot here. Get that to balance there for me. So I'm using a little over 2 ounces in each cocktail, probably close to about 2.5, 2 1/4. Other than that, they're all the same. It's just the simple syrup with the liquor. I didn't add any, and the garnish. I didn't add any bitters or anything else to this particular batch because I really just wanted to see how the liquor would play with the simple syrup in each cocktail. I expected the rum to blend well because it's very close to traditional daiquiri. The corn whiskey, I was kind of curious, and the third product you'll see. Marussia. Once again, the hazards of drinking outside. Got a little something in my cocktail there. But I mostly feel like I needed to get outside. If I wasn't going to go anywhere, if I would get some clothes on at least, and do something. So made my syrup, I got stuff ready, and got some clothes on. So okay, I'm gonna take it outside. I would have liked to gone to visit some friends today, actually, but I just wasn't feeling that I was going to be very sociable. I also felt like I would have to kind of be fake, yeah, have to pretend to be happy when I'm just not feeling it. And sometimes it just makes me edgy when I don't mean to be. I felt like I was edgy at work Monday, rather than my typical happy-go-lucky self. Because I usually take that the day before the 23rd and the day after. I usually take the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th off because those 3 days are just brutal. It was the 23rd that we lost him, but it was the 22nd that we knew he was going to die, and then the 24th is dealing with everything. I really like to have those. That's why we typically get out of town and go somewhere. Sometimes we get ourselves a little secluded cabin somewhere and just kind of hole up. But sometimes, once you get away and get out of town, it's easier to deal with strangers, go to places that don't know you. It's easier to be sociable around people that don't know you and don't know your story. Like I mentioned in yesterday's video, as we get some road noise here. I don't know why this year just kind of hit me harder. I think we're taught to believe that certain milestones should be rougher. Year 5, year 10, year 15, year 20, year 25. But grief really doesn't work like that. It doesn't recognize certain years should be more important than others. And for whatever reason, this year has really just been rough. Maybe that's part of his realizing how old Seamus would be at this time, and what he might be doing, and I don't know. Just can't seem to reconcile all of it. So rather than pay somebody $200 an hour to sit on the couch for them basically to tell me nothing, I just turn on the camera and start talking. Sometimes it helps just to say things out loud, because when they rattle around in your head, it just, that can take a toll on you when you just keep those thoughts all bottled up there or in there. Even though I'm not talking to anybody in particular, just saying things out loud sometimes helps. If I make this syrup again, I may let that coconut steep in there just a little longer, because I do have some. But see, that's the problem. I'm not sure. I may have the right balance here, but I never know till I try. Right? I don't want to. I want to be able to feel that lime, but I want to taste the coconut. So, and it's hard to get that exact 50-50 balance. You're usually going to have one flavor that's a dominant, but you've got that. As long as you can taste that other flavor, you're okay. And that's kind of what I was looking for here. That key lime is big, so I figured that to be the dominant flavor, but I needed enough coconut in there so you can taste it. And you can. I may try to steep it just a little longer next time, or maybe add more coconut to just. But then, as I say that, I'm also afraid that would be too much coconut, because there's enough coconut to taste it. There's enough coconut to know there's coconut lime in here. Do I think it works with this particular application, with an unaged whiskey per se, a corn whiskey in this case? Yeah, actually it does. It really has that traditional daiquiri kind of feel. I know it's not a daiquiri because I'm not using the rum. I'd have to think of something else to call this, but I think the drink as a whole does work. The unaged whiskey with that lime coconut simple syrup, yeah, it does blend well. See, not all liquors blend well with certain things. So that was my curiosity to see what would work and what doesn't. So I tried 3 different liquors just to see what was going to work and what wasn't. Put the lime in. Yeah, I was channeling the Harry Nilsson song. Jeff, I think you asked me that every time. The knee, great. It's everything else that it's like that old the joke, you got a headache, somebody hits you on a hammer with a toe, you forget about the headache. Well, my knee was in such bad shape for so long, and although my focus was on that knee, and now that the knee is beautiful. I can bend, I can do all sorts of things I couldn't do before. Yeah, see, that's another thought too. I'm playing around with some different things. I'm doing some cocktails for work. We're kind of doing like a specialty cocktail every month, but May is going to be different. I've got a couple different things going on in May, so I'm trying to come up with some specialties for just specific days. So I wanted to go with lime and coconut for one particular application. I don't want to say in this video because I don't want everybody in my area to know that right now. But I'm working on some other things as well. Blueberry lemonade or blueberry lemon simple syrup to do a blueberry lemonade kind of cocktail. Pirate rum I really like, yeah. But pineapple, yeah. But I had some good unsweetened flaked coconut and some key lime juice. So I wanted to try this one first. And I'm going to work on some various other simple syrups, but pineapple certainly does make sense. Uh, Lime and coconut are a nice choice. So thanks. Well, again, it comes down to you never know till you try, right? That's kind of what I do. Is I had an idea that lime and coconut, well, good, of course, channeling the classic Harry Nilsson song "Lime and a Coconut," right? Black raspberry with the lemon moonshine is. I'm not going to disagree with you, but the thing is, I don't like raspberry. I don't like blackberries. I don't like raspberries. So for me, I wouldn't do that. But I can certainly understand why folks would like those flavors. Jason says I enjoyed your interview with comedian Ashley uh, Zerner. How did you come to know her and get her on the show? We just connected on Facebook many years ago. I'm not really sure. I know we have a lot of mutual friends, so I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. But get her on the show is I just asked. You know, I ask a lot of folks. Some say no for one reason or another. Some say yes, and sometimes it's just making the timing work. But I love talking to her. She is absolutely brilliant and hilarious. I would like to have her on again at some point. My work schedule has changed. It seems to be ever changing, so I'm trying to work out a day to do it. I'm not sure. I'm trying to work out if Wednesday or Sunday, because those are the days I'm most likely to have off. So I'm trying to figure out if Wednesday or Sunday works best for the at the pub shows, but I'm not quite sure. Bring her on again. Yeah, I would like to. Vanessa says pineapple and moonshine comes out nice. Yeah, yeah, that would be. Yeah, again, that's something I will definitely try at some point. And sometimes it's just I work with what I have in the house at any particular moment. Um, and then because I don't want to really go to the store and buy stuff until I have that idea solidified, right? Say, okay, let's try this. I have these ingredients. Let's try this. That's kind of how I had the lime and coconut, and I'm trying to think of things for next month for May, kind of spring y. Anyway, anyway, I digress. Okay, as I finish that one, here's the one that might surprise you a little bit as far as what liquor I'm using is concerned. This is a local liquor to me. From Tiakida. This is their Oba Pearl Date Brandy. So that's what I was curious. I knew I had a feeling the other two would work, but this one really piqued my curiosity to see if it was going to or not. Quite frankly, I haven't tasted it, so I don't know if it did or not. But anyway, Oba Pearl Date Brandy. It's 80 proof, but it is the stuff is really good. So I really thought it might work with this particular application. So here we go. Nevertheless, nevertheless, man. Anyways, Solancha. Oh, damn. So yeah, wow. That works, but rather unexpectedly, actually. Research liquors made in Connecticut. That's nice. I just discovered a local brewery. I'm gonna post your comments there, Vanessa. Discovered a local brewery makes moonshine one town west of myself. Our research liquors made in Connecticut. See, I kind of do the same thing. I try to buy as local or local-ish as humanly possible. It's easy. It's easier to get local beer, but you kind of got to expand it what you consider local when you're looking for anything else, right? If you're going to for wine or liquor, what I consider local, I kind of spread out a little bit. I consider Kansas City kind of if I can find Kansas City products, St. Louis products, or anything in between. Yeah, basically anything in Missouri. We're going to call that local. As far as wine and liquor are concerned, because you're not going to find as many wineries and distilleries as you are breweries. but this one is local. They are a sister company to Springfield Brewing Company. Made right here in Springfield. This stuff is gorgeous. I didn't expect to like it. I ordered it out of curiosity. Produced and bottled by Tiyakida, Springfield, Missouri. Yeah. So I happen to know the bartender that particular day. Of course, I know most of the bartenders over there, but nevertheless, at Springfield Brewing Company. So I asked about this. So he gave me a little sample. And through that sample, I bought the bottle because the stuff was really good. And I had ideas in my head what I might do with this stuff. And quite frankly, it is absolutely outstanding neat. It really is. It drinks perfect neat. But the flavors this stuff has really lends itself well to cocktails, I have noticed. Because I wasn't sure how it will work with the lime and coconut, but I'll be damned if it isn't my favorite of the three. I mean, this stuff is just good. Vanessa says, I enjoy vodka and pineapple. It works wonderful with frozen strawberry. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I get that. I enjoy, I'm going to post your next comment there too, Vanessa. I enjoy the pear brandies. Yeah, yeah, see, that's something I like to try too. That stuff comes out tasty. Yeah, this date brandy is just insanely good, man. Uh, Yeah, I wasn't sure how the date would go with the coconut and lime, but I got to be honest with you. The fruit notes at the date notes, I guess, the date notes combined with the lime and the coconut really work well together. It is my favorite of the three. God, it is gorgeous. That's a. I'm not going to come up with a name for this. Date pineapple, no, not pineapple. Date lime coconut. You got me thinking pineapple. Vanessa, date lime coconut. Got to come up with a name for that. A delight, date lime coconut. I don't know. I'm just ripping here. I don't know. Date lime coconut. I don't know. Can't come up with anything there. Wow. That is tasty though. Goodness. Yeah. So I had some key lime juice and some the sweet coconut we bought from Trader Joe's a while back. I had these coconut strips, which I'm using as the garnish here, as you can see. Yeah, man, this is good. Anyways, that's the truth. You never know till you try. You got to come up with some ideas. Not everything is going to work. Not everything is going to be a home run. Not everything is even going to be a base hit or even a walk. Sometimes you're going to strike out. I ain't going to lie to you. But you never know till you try. So when I have an idea, I find the necessity to really try to see if it's going to work at that moment. So you don't usually go to the store to pick up other ingredients to see. I use those ingredients I have handy. Uh, and wow, I do like that lime coconut simple syrup, but I am going to take some other ideas here and try something with some pineapple too for you. Wow, that's good. Anyways, I digress. I'm going to wrap this up. I've had three cocktails, but talking for 25 minutes, almost 25 minutes. Be 25 by the time I wrap this up. Anyways, I digress. I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor, wisdom man. All around good guy, Sluncher.